Oh, I was going to do a fun thing where I showed you the iPad, which would be me looking at you, but I forgot which way camera it is. It's that one. Now I can look at the iPad. Where's the camera? I don't know where the camera is. Where's the camera? It's there. I can look at the camera, face it towards you, and you're looking at me, looking at you. Hello. Yes. Hello. Ha. Hee. Am I looking at you or am I looking? I don't know where the camera is. It's there. There. Hello, tiny little camera. Hello, people on the telly box. I'll stop now. It's probably disturbing everybody quite wildly. I had no idea how that looked. Probably terrible. Probably a really bad idea. Hey, everyone. Hello. It would have worked if I got it ready before I went live, but never mind. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cyberpunk Saturday, except it's not, because we're doing some more Warhammer. I keep wanting to say Age of Sigmar. Horus Heresy, Age of Darkness. Yes, welcome one and all. I will be carrying on, as you've noticed, not playing games, but I am still building and catching up, or coming to the end of building the Horus Heresy box set, the Age of Darkness. So I need to get it done so I can get it up on eBay ASAP, painted and stuff. So I thought I'd crack on with it and see if we can get it finished off. I've got a few last bits to do, so we might get it finished today. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But before we get going, I'm just going to adjust my chair. I'll go for as long as I can today because I've got a really poorly shoulder at the minute. Colin mocked me mercilessly on last night's stream all night about that. So I'll see how long I can go for. But in the meantime, before we get going, welcome everybody. Let me do all the usual shout-outs and coughing. Hopefully you can see me and hear me okay. Let me just double-check my audio. La. Yeah, that's working fine. Perfect. Right, so yes, before we get going, let me do all the usual shout-outs. First and foremost to my the people that make my content possible. This channel, of course, and this show and everything else is sponsored by emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Make sure to use the link in the description below this video for all your model making, tabletop gaming, and all that kind of, all your Warhammer stuff needs. Go and check them out. Go and have a look. And if there's anything you want that you can't quite find on the internet, on the website, don't panic. Just drop them a note, use the contact form, or drop them an email, or give them a call and say, dude, can you get this particular thing in because I can't find it on the website? And they'll get it in for you because they're lovely like that. So check them out, emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. There you go. Yes. And of course, a big thank you and a hello and big hugs to all my patrons and channel members who literally pay my wages and keep food on my table. They make all my content possible. They make it possible for me to do this as a living. This is what I do for a job. So big thank you to them. If you want to help support this channel like them, you can do. You can become a patron at patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or you can press the join button under any of my channel content, and that will let you be a channel member. And you can help support the channel. You get access to the free 24/7 live Zoom hangout that's off air but live, and lots of other bits and bobs, access to free live streams when I do partworks and stuff like that. So do consider checking that out. There's lots of links in the description below for that, for channel memberships and patrons stuff, so go and check them out. But yes, we're going to be doing that, so welcome one and all. If you're watching this, it's all about me hanging out and doing some work while you guys keep me company in the chat. That's why I'm streaming these, because building can be a bit boring. I'm not a builder, I'm a painter. So I get a bit bored sometimes, and I listen to podcasts, but sometimes it's nice to have live chat interaction with you guys. So I figure I may as well stream these things. So we're going to crack on. If you're watching this embedded in Facebook or Twitter, come and join the live chat. Come and join the live chat. I've got it in front of me. If you can't see the live chat, if you're on a mobile device or a tablet, scroll down or go into your browser settings and request the desktop version of the YouTube page. If you're on the YouTube website, on the app or something, it will see the chat there. It might be underneath the video. If you are watching embedded in Facebook or Twitter, click the little YouTube icon in the bottom right hand corner down there somewhere. That'll take you to YouTube, where you can carry on watching and join the live chat. So quick hello to everybody. We have I know that Wendy was the first in chat, so big hugs to you, Wendy. Box Fox Scoot was second. Welcome to you, Box Fox. We have Jeff at Candygram from Mongo. Welcome, Jeff. Big hugs to you. Andy McLeish, of course. The loony is in the house. We have a resident nut job, which is not me, surprisingly, but Andy, welcome to you. Big hugs. Paul Di Tommaso is in. Welcome to you and Dawn. Hello, big hugs to you both. Panzer Cat is in. Yes, hello, Panzer Cat. How you doing, my friend? Big hugs. We have, who else has come in since then? Paul Lewis is in. Afternoon, Fox, and all in chat. Welcome, Paul. Big hugs to you. We have Jeff Light. Hi, Fox, and everyone in chat. Big hugs to you, Jeff. Welcome, welcome. Wendy Hickson, of course, is in. She's saying hello to everybody. Panzer typed something in, but it got wrong because he said auto-carried it twice, and then spells twice wrong, which didn't get auto-corrected. So that's kind of ironic. Oh, because why did he say? Panzer said, Horror herpes, you're guaranteed they come together. Steady now. Yes. We have, let's have a look, anybody else come in yet? Not yet. We've got nobody new in chat just now, so if you are watching this, there's 12 of you watching, but there's not 12 of you in chat, so come and join in the live chat. It's good people in there, and it's really what I'm just in the background, and you're not going to sit and watch me, you're going to have me in the background. Come and join the live chat. You can ask me questions, give me things to talk about, because I need stuff to talk about. Otherwise, I'll just sit here carefully, quietly working away, not talking about anything. So, yes. A new view of the Model Making Guru Limited soundstage. You rarely get to see the rest of this room, for good reason. But, yeah. Hopefully, I didn't show the prop AK-47 on the wall. That might get misinterpreted by the algorithm. Never mind, moving on. Anyway, let's crack on. Andy McLeish says, embedded or in bed as long as you're comfy. Carrot correct it, says Andy McLeish. Yes, that's getting. And Panzer Cat says, yep. Mr. Jeff, says Andy. Anyway, let's crack on. So today, we've got a few bits left to do. I have almost finished the Spartan Assault Tank, which is the tank that comes in the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness set. I've done most of it. I've built all the bits and bobs. I built the 2 bunches of las cannons. I've enjoyed building this. It's been quite a nice build, apart from the las cannons, which were a pain in the bum to clean up. The mould lines on them are impossible to really clean up without lots of plastic card, or real spending hours and hours and hours cleaning them. They're just a bit fiddly just to get in there and get them cleaned up, so I've got to do a little work on those yet. But I didn't enjoy building them. But yes, the rest of the tank's gone together really nicely. It's really nice. It's not opening. I've actually glued this shut because I'm building this to paint it and get it on eBay. I was unsure whether to actually paint the interior, but I thought it's for the amount of work it'll take, it's not going to add that much value to it. So for the amount of extra money I can ask, because that little interior bit there is painted, it's not worth it. So I've glued that shut. The tracks are loosely attached. They're not actually in place. They are loosely attached, so I can take them off in some difficulty. I've basically, I'll tell you what I've done, if I can get this one off. These are quite tricky. The back bit there, you've got the bottom piece here. I like a nice bottom piece, and the front piece there. And what we've got is basically, instead of like that's 1, 2, 3 parts, there's 2 parts there, there's 3 parts in there, and there's 2 parts in there. Instead of having like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces on sticks, when I paint these, I'll have them, they're super glued together, so I put a little bit of super glue in the joint, put them in place, let the super glue flash off, and then tuck it off. And it does mean they've got a bit of flexibility to them. And it does mean, of course, that if the glue does break and snap, it's not a problem, because I don't need them to be permanent. But it also, the super glue pads out the joint. So if I've actually had the super glue on one of these joints break, but it still stays in place because the super glue's gummed up the joint and makes it really stiff. So it means I can get these tracks on and off. So when I paint these, I can paint them off the tank, because what I intend on doing, if you look at the tracks on this thing, you can see a lot of the track underneath. It's not like on the Baneblade where you've got a little bit of track showing and that's it. You can see right underneath on both sides here. So it's a bit fiddly. You can't just, well, you can just put the tracks on and paint them, but if I want the wheels to be, for example, well, here we go. If somebody paints the tracks silver and the wheels silver, like a lot of people do, then it's not a problem. I refuse to paint tracks silver. I can't do that anymore. It's just not right. So the wheels are going to be hull coloured and the tracks are going to be a rust colour. Now, to do that would be a right pain in the bum of fiddly painting. But if I take the tracks off, what I can do is paint the whole thing the hull colour. I can paint the exposed surface that comes into contact with the track on the wheels. This can be a bare metal shiny silver colour, because there's logic to that. So all this is going to be like Space Wolves grey. The top of the wheels, this edge is going to be silver. The tracks will be rust coloured, of course, because they're tracks and they rust. But this strip down the middle here, and about half of the outside edge of each tread is going to be bare metal. Because the way tracks work, not always, but for a lot, if a tank's in a lot of use, basically the wheels are in contact with about 70% of the track surface on the inside. That bit, the pins, the teeth, and a little bit of the side of the tread. So they just get polished clean all the time by the wheels. Dirt doesn't really build up, because as soon as it's there, it gets rubbed away by the wheels, and the wheels and the tracks can get polished to a bright, shiny metal, whereas the rest of the track will be rusty. and covered in dirt. So that's my plan. I might not go that far. I might just do them rust coloured and leave it. I mean, you can't really see inside the track. You can see the teeth. But I'll think about that. I don't know if I will do that, but it'll be a bit of realism. A bit of realism on the tracks, but it depends on how long it takes. But it does mean basically I can paint this rust colour, turn it over, and then paint the interior a bit metal, paint the wheels metallic on the top, and then I can just plonk them back on and attach them with the tiniest bit of super glue just to lock that end in place, and they'll stay on. So if you're building one of these, I do recommend you do this. Just a little touch of super glue in each joint, tiny bit, put it in place and give it a minute to set. So I'll take those off anyway because I don't need those tracks on. You can see that one actually bends because the super glue on this one is quite loose. It actually broke, but it still stays in place because the super glue just like gums up the joint so it doesn't fall off, which is great. I don't know how I thought of that, I just thought I'd do that. Just a lot easier than building the tracks individually and painting the tracks on the tank. On the Baneblade you only see a little bit of the tracks really, so you can get away with putting them on the tank first because you can see a little bit, but it's not that much of a problem. But on this thing you can see so much inside under the track that you have to do that. Spartan doesn't look very bare, says Mandy McLeish. Resident Looney, he says, I'm perfectly sane, you know, it's the voices in my head that argue lots and shout. Also, it's Shellard's fault. There is that. Don't forget, though, Andy, it's also the little CIA guy that lives in your radiator. Tells you a lot of things as well. And he always blames it on Shellard anyway. Shellard! Right, so we've got most of this built now. The only thing I've got left to do... I've also got, once I've done this, I've also got my 40 Space Marines that I need to put some accessories on, like, you know, pouches and bits and bobs and some icons and stuff. So we'll try and get that done as well. I've got a grumpy shoulder at the minute, so I don't know how much I'll get done. But whatever I don't get finished today, I'll have finished by tomorrow, by, you know, this afternoon or this evening. So basically, hopefully next week I can start painting these puppies. Wendy Hickson gives us a scorpion update. She says, got an Asian Black Forest scorpion, Heterometrus silenus, or silenus, adult pair last week. Not put them together yet, so on Tuesday I found the female had babies, a lot of babies, 20-ish. Oh, didn't expect that, did you? Hi, welcome to your new home. Babies. Oh. Are they big, massive ones that are deadly, or are they little tiny ones like the other ones, like the wood scorpions? Yes, I do blame it on Shellard ever since he got the finger of shame on eModels Monday. Yeah, but a lot of people get the finger of shame on eModels Monday. It's true. As she wants to kill me, I will try to make a video of them. Yeah, don't let them kill you, though. I don't know. So we have some bits to do. I've got to put the las cannons on the front. I've got some bits to stick on, build the commander. And I've also got lots of little bits to add. I've got some icons. If I can be bothered, I'm going to have to. I've got some Space Wolves icons to cut out of this resin block and stick on the tank, but they're such a faff to clean up. Yeah, that might be the slowing down point of this process. It would be nice to see a video of your scorpions, Wendy. I'd like to see photos or videos of them, says Jeff. Oh yeah, I've held the scorpion in my hand. It was very nice. It was de-stung, obviously. And it was walking about on my hand. I can't remember what colour it was. And then shortly after I put an orange-kneed tarantula in my hand, which was silver, it was bright silver, like it was lead belcher, but with orange knees. It was quite pretty. It was the gentlest thing I've ever felt in my hand. It was like, lovely. Anyway, moving on. I don't like spiders, but I've held a tarantula and it was cool. Now, of course, don't forget, I will have my lenses of seeing on. I meant to show you, I've got new glass on, I'll show you in a minute. Now, I've got my lenses of seeing on, so once I put these on, it'll be hard for me to read the chat without lifting them up and putting them out. So if you want to catch my attention in chat, you can just do @ModelMakingGuru like Wendy did here, and it puts my name in an orange box so I can see there's a comment for my attention. Or if you want to, you can do a super chat. You can press the dollar symbol underneath the chat window. That allows you to do a super chat or a super sticker or whatever you want to do, but also supports the channel at the same time because I get some income from that. So do feel free to do all your super chats and stuff and goodness. But other than that, just make sure you do @ModelMakingGuru and I'll see your comment. Do feel free to ask me many things. Ask me whatever you want. Treat this chat as an Ask Me Anything. No religion, no politics, but anything else is fair game because it gives me something to talk about. Now, I do need to show you very quickly. I've got new glasses and you'll see these on Monday nights now. I got my new glasses, so these are my new glasses. La la la. They're a bit rounded 1940s, which is kind of cool. These are my cheap ones. My general everyday glasses are like round 1940s ones. It doesn't really, you can't really see them on me. You've seen them anyway. But I also got these. These are going to be my live on camera glasses. You remember the optician told me to get some graduated tints because of the problem my eyes are having. So I've got these for my live Monday night glasses. I've gone for the 1960s sort of JFK investigation look. Oliver Stone's JFK movie with the plastic at the top and the little metal rim at the bottom. So if I had like a nice trilby and a thin tie and shirt, I could really rock the 1960s look. So they'll be my Monday night ones. They're graduated because they're not. I didn't want sunglasses. They are graduated because I've developed a problem with my eyes where I'm really sensitive to massively bright lights. And it gives me lots of headaches and stuff and bad things. So when I do a live stream and I'm facing the camera, I actually have a spotlight right in front of me so you can see my face. Because you have to have a light in front of you and a bit to the side. So he told me to get some tinted. He said get some sunglasses or get some graduated lenses, so I got some graduated lenses. Because I don't really want to wear sunglasses on a live stream because I'm not an absolute douche. Only douches wear sunglasses on live stream, but I have to. But I didn't want to wear sunglasses, so I'll get them. And then I'm just channeling Jeff Lynne, which is cool for me because I love yellow. So I call them my Jeff Lynne, but slightly smaller glasses. I just need the perm now. Talk slat. You secretly want to be one of the Blues Brothers? No. I don't mean like a black trilby. I mean like a 1960s Mad Men style 1960s hat that you get with a simple suit, grey with a black ribbon with a black band would be good. Right. So what we're going to do? We're going to put the two las cannons on the front. I have glued the las cannon or the gun placement in place. That doesn't move. The side, the sponson weapons will rotate. They're a bit loose now, but once I've got paint on there, they'll stiffen up. She has them all on her back. Wendy says about the baby, she has them all on her back, so she should be easy to do. I have to be careful, as I don't want her to eat them, which I think she would have done already. And then Andy says, unequivocal proof that nature is metal. Yeah. Andy, just look up deep ocean sea spiders. That'll show you that nature is metal. Imagine a spider that's 100% legs. It's basically legs with mouth parts, and all its organs are in the legs. It's just legs. There's no body there. It's just legs. They're awesome. They're awesome sea spiders, but they're all leg. It's the weirdest thing ever. Imagine taking a spider and removing everything except the mouth and the legs. It's a sea spider. Right. Let's do some work. So we've got these las cannons, which I need to clean up. I think they've been clean. I think I've cleaned them up. I just need to get rid of the gap where I glued the bits on the side. So let me do that. And if you hear any funny noises today, my neighbour's doing a lot of jet washing on his driveway, I think. So you might hear a power washer going like a jet wash. It's not that loud. So that's what it is. If you can hear that, that's what it is. So don't panic. I'm not being invaded or anything. So anyway, how is everyone? I hope you're all well. I hope you're having a good day today. I hope you're having some good weather here in the UK, in the northwest, in Manchester area, in Cheshire, I should say, Greater Manchester area. It is a little bit cooler. It's quite nice and cool. A little bit chilly even, perhaps. You might put a little thin jacket on if you go outside. It's also a bit damp and occasionally raining, so it's not hot and sunny. It's typical British summer weather, basically wet and a bit glum. But you know what? I love it. Us Brits, we always complain about our weather any chance we get. But when we have like a hot spell and we're really unhappy with it, we really then are grateful when the glum weather comes back, the grim northern weather. We're like, oh. We may whinge about our weather, but we love it really. Because, we're not built for hot weather in this country. So, yeah, it's a pleasant day outside. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've all got nice things planned for the weekend, and I hope those plans include watching me do live streams on today and tomorrow. Yes, because they should do. Don't forget, of course, the questions, as always, bench and belly. What you're building right now, what you're working on. Doesn't have to be a model kit, can be any kind of creative project. Bench and belly, what you're working on, and what are you eating, either for your lunch or for your dinner later on, or what have you had for your lunch or dinner, depending on where you are in the world. But I hope you are all fine and dandy. Not really much to report about what's been going on here at Guru Towers, because not a lot really. Looking after Mama Fox, getting these things built as and when. Generally falling apart because I hit 50 and everything starts to hurt. There isn't a day goes by when I haven't got some sort of physical degradation going on in some way or form. It's all fun. So I'm just cleaning out these recessed slats, because the mould line, or the joint where these two, this was all one piece, but the tip of the muzzle was, or even the muzzle, which I should say, was two halves, two parts. It's got a bit of a seam down the middle, a bit of a mould seam line. I'm just using the scriber to scrape that away in the recess. When it gets painted and washed, there'll be dark wash in there, so you probably won't even see that anyway. But I'll get rid of it, just to be sure. Can't leave anything too egregious, because I'm looking to sell this once it's all painted up. So this set, I'll be selling it with all the figures and everything else, and the books and all the bits that come in the box set. So the books, the measuring stuff, the dice, all that kind of stuff, that will be going with it. All the figures and the models, and it'll probably come in a battle case. I'm hoping a battle case will be big enough and not a Crusader case, because I don't really want to spend that much. I'm thinking a battle case might be enough. A skirmish case might be a bit too small to fit the Spartan in. I'd probably fit everything else in, but I probably wouldn't get the Spartan in a skirmish case. So I can't get rid of this little bit of mould line there, little git. There's the camera, there it is. So I hope you're all well anyway. What have you all got planned for this weekend? Anything interesting? I, of course, have nothing planned apart from this. Tomorrow, of course, is Warhammer Sunday, and I'll be catching up with, I'll be getting this bit finished later on today. I might try and get some Xbox time at some point, but I keep saying that and keep not happening. Animicles looks at model making Guru, then looks out of the door at work at the rain. Pleasant day, he says. Well, yeah, I'm comparing it to like 5 or 6 days ago when it was 1,000 degrees and everything was moist, and everything I had to do was uncomfortable and unpleasant because of the moist. It's like when it's that hot, even just looking up is uncomfortable, is unpleasant. You're like, oh, I don't even want to move my eyes up. Box Fox says, I'm back. Internet went out because of the storm. Ooh, you got a storm going on. Cool. You got the thunders and the lightnings. That sounds quite good. Right, so that's that barrel done. 1 barrel, 2 barrel. What's better than a las cannon? Twin-linked las cannon. Yeah. You know it. Paul Lewis says, Belly, trying to decide whether to cook something or get a takeaway? Not sure. The answer is always takeaway if it's an option. Bench Model Factory Hero MFH 112 Ferrari 156 85 F1 car. Nice, that's going to be huge. Beverage, nothing at the moment. Drink lots of water if nothing else. Just stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, kids. Stay in school, don't do drugs. Etc, etc. Yeah, that F1 car sounds quite nice. I didn't know what MFH were till Colin explained them last night. That's, yeah, not cheap. Joseph Kelly's in, says hello all. Welcome, Joseph. Welcome, my friend. Come in, sit down, get comfortable. Feel free to dive into any of the nibbles. Everybody's touched all of them, so they're all got the same diseases on, so there's no point getting picky. Just eat any of it. We all share our healthy gut biomes in this place. What are friends for if not to share our gut biomes accidentally by handling foodstuffs? Feel free to dive into the bar nuts. Yeah. You know what's better than a twin-link las cannon? A quad-link las cannon. Yeah, I got 2 of them. So basically I wasn't sure what weapons to put on this, to be honest, but I just get las cannons because they seem to be the most expensive to put on the model when you play it. So, according to the stats in the instructions, so I figured that'll do. Ah, la 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 la. Okay, this is giving me difficulty. This one. Go away, little gap, little seam. How dare you! Seam line, go away! Run, there's a fire! Run, run, you've all died! Got news for you. There is no bathroom. I saw a video the other day. Somebody basically had a video of cats meowing. There's all different clips of cats meowing, like one cat and 5 cats and groups of cats. But it was like, if cats bark like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And they're all kind of going, meow, meow, meow. So every time a cat on the video makes it, you can see it meowing, it's overdubbed with meow. And when you've got like loads of them, they're all just going meow, meow, meow. It's quite good. It was quite utterly silly. You should look that up, it's quite amusing. Anyway, yes, so I've not really been doing much other than this, and that's about it. So please do ask me questions in chat. Give me stuff to talk about. Inspire me. Tell me what you've been up to. We'll talk about anything. No religion, no politics. But please give me stuff to talk about, otherwise this will be a really boring, quiet stream and you won't enjoy it. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be about model making. It can be about anything. I'm still excited for Starfield. Still can't wait to get my hands on that next year. Literally no other game is exciting me at the moment. I've watched some videos for Stray, that PS5 and PlayStation game. Sorry, PS5 and PC game where you play a cat in like a post-disaster type world. And I've got to tell you, that Unreal 5 world, this engine it's driven on it, the world, I just want to walk around that world. And I've watched some videos of it, and I found myself having the same reaction when they first started showing videos of The Last of Us, when The Last of Us first came out, 9 years ago. On PlayStation. I actually went out and bought a PS3 just to play Last of Us. But when that first came out, the post-apocalyptic world, which was kind of realistic, it was like, it just looked like the normal world, but everything had just overgrown. Like if everybody in my street just vanished now and all the gardens just grew for 5 years, 10 years, it looked like that. And the lighting, because that was Unreal Engine 3, I think, the lighting was all perfect. It was like it was sunny but slightly overcast, so everything looked like a cold but not too. It was amazing. And that, just looking at the visuals of The Last of Us, I had no interest in playing the game. I just wanted to experience the world it was set in. Just that the lighting and the colours and the scenery and walking around. And sadly, it wasn't that much of a free roam game, and neither Stray. But I'd love for someone to just make a world like that, like the one in Stray or the one in Last of Us, but just make it a free roaming open world type thing. That'd be amazing. So that everything looks not like Fallout where it's all sci-fi and stuff. I mean, it's like the normal everyday world, but it's been abandoned, like, you know, like Pripyat. It's just been abandoned. Nothing's been damaged. Just people have just left, and things have overgrown, and nature's taken. I'd love a world to wander around in that. I don't know. It just felt really. I felt really. I thought to myself, I want to live in that world for real, because it just looks. The lighting in Last of Us and on Stray, where you see like the cats walking around some of the pipes and stuff, not in the neon lit city, but in the open areas. The lighting is that kind of. It might rain later, so it's a little bit overcast, but it's not cold, but it's not warm. It's just a typical spring, late winter, spring day. It might be a little bit warm outside. It might be a little bit chilly, but it's just that kind of average. It's like a British grey day, basically. That's why it appeals to me. It's very British in its greyness. And yeah, so I found myself sitting there saying, I'm not going to play Stray because I haven't got a PlayStation, but I really want to just walk around that world, not play the game as a cat, but just walk around that world. I need someone to build a world, a game with that in where I can just wander around and do what I want. Scale Model Muse is in, and YouTube it has had more damn static adverts. Oh, WTF. Yes, welcome, Muse. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, always with the adverts, but it pays my bills, so... Burpage. Thank you for putting up with them. I do appreciate it. Welcome to you, though. Big hugs to you, Muse. Right, I am going to pull my curtain back a bit, because it's a bit warm in here. Hang on. I've got the window open, but it's a bit warm. Right. I get that feeling of wanting to explore a world with Frostpunk. It's a city building game and I do not have enough patience for those. Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, just the street scenes when they're out in the open in The Last of Us. The original Last of Us is the perfect example. It's just that kind of slightly overcast average day. It's just not, and I can when I look at the scenery I can feel, I can hear it, I can feel the wind on my skin, I can hear what it would, imagine what it would sound like, and I can imagine what it's like to walk down that street of just a world that's been not destroyed but abandoned. It just really appeals to me. There's a little bit of my brain that's like, I need to live in that world. Of course I die of starvation and disease, but I'm very weird like that. I get drawn into like ambience and the vibes of things very easily, more than is normally healthy probably. So I can, when somebody can, for all the people that say, for example, Fallout 4, the graphics are rubbish, they say, oh yeah, the graphics are terrible, they're so last gen and so horrible, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm sitting there and I'm just chilling out looking at, I can stand there on a street and just look at, I know you can see the back of my hand, look at a car that's on the street and just look at the way, I've spent 10 minutes just mesmerised by the way the light reflects off a shiny bit of chrome on a car that's otherwise rusted and dilapidated. Just looking at the way, and whenever I play it, I set my, I've got the cheat engine, I set that to be like dark skies because it's overcast. Because I don't get any feeling from like sunny settings, I don't get any feeling from brightly lit settings, but if you give me an overcast, average grey, normal kind of human weather, real world weather kind of setting, I can lose myself in it, no problem. Make sure these are lined up. I really appreciate I'm a bit out of shot. Doop, 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 doop. I don't know why, it's just that particular type of weather really does it for me. I think it's because the lighting is the most interesting. If it's a bright sunny day, then everything's just brightly lit and shadows are stark, and it's like, it's not that interesting. But if it's a overcast day, you get more softer shadows and it's more interesting. I'm just weird, what can I say? It doesn't take a lot to get me vibing. There you go, last cannons, all attachicated. They are permanently glued in place and they're not movable now. But the difficulty of having movable things on models that I'm going to sell is that A, it makes painting them hard, and B, paint scrapes off and then people get upset. Scale Model Muse says, no, it's not the ones on your video feed, it's crap in the sidebar that stacks up and puts chat half. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, they're not great. Not watching on a damn theatre wall, FFS, says Muse. Fox is a magpie confirmed. He likes his shinies. Oh, yeah. Love it. Like right now, if I look out the window, it's an overcast day, and it was drizzling a bit early, so it's overcast, but it's sunny, but overcast. I love that. The garden looks a little bit dull. I don't really like bright sunshine. It's just boring, visually boring. I can't wait for the games to start coming out in Unreal Engine 5. Oh, it's going to be so good. Right, what's next? So we put the big shooty bops on the front. Pew, and indeed, as we say, pew. They're double pews, double pew pew. Next we have, let me get the instructionations. We have, I've built the, oh, I've not put the wires on the, you know what I've not done? I've not put twiddly wires on the big quad link glass cannons, and that's what I've not done. Oh, you forgot about that. Oh, you just built them, and then, oh, you forgot to put the other bits on like that. Oh, that's rubbish, isn't it? Right, let's get them bits on. So L20 and 21. First, find your sprues. L20 and also 21, yeah. And L4, 20 and 21. Right. Just give me flashbacks to me Stomper last night. Oh, putting wires on. La, 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 la. If anyone didn't watch the Friday Frolic last night and wants to see the stomper that Colin and I are building, do let me know and I'll get it out for you at the end of the show. I'll need to move the camera, so I'll do it at the end. 20, 21 and 4. That's 20. Twin-linked double-ass cannons, made to make you go pew. Yeah, so I'm all about the ambience and the environment of a game, which is why I'm more than happy with even just the default Fallout 4 graphics, because I can get so immersed just in a world just because it has good lighting. It can really make up for slightly shonky graphics. If the textures are a bit rough and ready and rough around the edges, it can be more than made up for with really nice lighting. Beep, 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 beep. I'm just weird like that. I have been told by people, and I have no way to verify this, I've not had it checked out, but I have been told by people that the way I am suggests that I am somewhere on the autism spectrum, but I've never had it checked. I've been told by people who know about these things, but I have no idea. It wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at all. But I've not looked into it. I don't know at all, so I don't claim such things. But they've said, you know, you're probably a little on the spectrum somewhere. I'm like, really? Yes. Yeah, because you're just the way you are. I'm like, okay. I don't know. I'm just weird and me, that's all I know. That's all I know. Right, so 3 tubes. We need to attach these to the relevant places, and the relevant places are probably unable to get to because I've glued everything together. You watch, I'll have screwed it up now big time. So that goes in. It says don't glue this in place, but I will because I've not got the guns rotating anyway, so haha. How'd you like them apples? Not even in shot? Probably not. Did I zoom in at some point? Am I not supposed to be that close? Let me just double check. No? Okay, cool. How are we looking and sounding, by the way, kids? Is audio okay? I was having some camera problems yesterday before we went live on the stream on yesterday afternoon. And I had a rather sad experience, but I had some unstable image, like flicking on the image and little lines of distortion. And I thought it was my other camera had started to corrupt. Maybe the wires had got knackered, so I got very upset because I've got 3 webcams, 3 C920s. 2 are old, and they have the old software, which is brilliant, and 1 is new and has the new software, which is balls. That's why I don't use it. And to my dismay, this one, which is one of the old ones, started doing what the other old one was doing, which was doing all kind of weird distortions. And I was really worried that basically I was going to lose this camera, and that will be it, and I'd be stuck with my... How am I doing this now? I'd be stuck with my modern one, which has got the terrible... what the hell? I see. Do I see? Ah, la 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 la. That doesn't seem correct at all. That one does seem correct. Or does not seem correct. What? What are you asking me to do now? I do not know. I've mixed them up and I don't know which is which now. That was probably my first mistake. Right, that's there like that. That goes like that, maybe. Yes. Huge success. So, yeah, I was worried that, like, this camera was also going the way of the other one. And was starting, like, there was a loose wire or something had gone wrong and it was no longer going to work. And I'd be left just with my third one, which is the modern one with the crappy drivers that I don't like. And I wasn't happy. Until I realised, I think it turned out to be the extension cable it was plugged into. It's like a USB extender cable that it was plugged into. And I think that was the cause, because when I took that out of the equation, it looked okay again. So fingers crossed it's alright. So you need to let me know if you get any flicky or like staticky lines on the screen and stuff. But the sad thing was, when I realised that, I thought, oh wait, hang on. if it's that extension cable, then it's entirely possible that the other camera that I've got, the other old one, is actually fine, and I can go back to having two of the decent cameras with the decent software. And then I realised I threw it out because I thought it was knackered. But then I realised I hadn't emptied. It was only recently I emptied my rubbish bag in here in the workbench area. So I thought, oh, if I'm lucky, it's still there, and I only recently emptied it. So I had to go outside and empty the wheelie bin of all the grey bin of all the black bin bags, and go through them, dig through them to see if I could find it. Sadly, I was out of sync. I'd done it long enough ago that it had since been emptied. So, yeah, basically, it may have been that I threw out a perfectly functioning Logitech C920 camera, thinking it was knackered. Arse. Never mind. These things are sent to trials. But then again, on the other hand, I'm sure that I actually tried it without that camera, not in the extension cable, and it still did the same thing, which made me think it was actually the camera. I'm not sure. I'm fairly certain though. Right, so that's those two cables on there. Lovely, lovely cables. They will hopefully distract from the seams at the bottom, which I could cover them up with plastic card, but they're going to be such little tiny bits of plastic card. I could do it. I'd have to make 8 of them. We'll have a think about that. After my plastic card repair things. Let's have a look. Picks up a set of keys and jangles them. Woo! Looks at the shiny. Oh, want it. Gears. Only way to see the feed and chat is to pop chat out, says Muse. That's a bit rubbish then, isn't it? Oh, because it's below, you got the video and then the chat down here. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that as well. Yeah, no, I can't be doing with that sometimes. Yeah, no, it's not ideal. So yeah, you have to pop the chat out so you can see it. I like to pop the chat out anyway, because then it means I can put the actual video content full screen. So I tend to pop the chat out anyway. See, because I've been around doing computers for 30 years, I still live in the old days of don't have things on screen too long because they'll burn in. I'm still in that kind of mindset. So if I've got YouTube playing and there's all the menus around it, I'm like, no, I'll put it full screen so nothing's stuck on screen there. I'm old. I can't help it. I can't help thinking that way. What can I say? I'm old. La 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 la. Wendy Hickson. Well, that's decided. Fish and chips delivered and a sausage for Poppy. Hello, Poppy. You could give Poppy a treat and give her 2 sausages. Woo! She'd like that. I bet she would. What kind of creature is Poppy? Remind me. I'm pretty sure Poppy's a dog. My memory is terrible. But what kind of dog? Or is Poppy a cat? Or is Poppy like a worm? Or I don't know, it could be a turtle. I've just cut these cables off. I'm not even looking at what numbers they are. I'm just cutting things off willy-nilly now. That's probably a bad thing to do. I probably want those 2. I don't know what that one is. Which ones do I want? 21 and 20. Probably wasn't any of the cables that I wanted. I think it's those 2. That'd be one of those and one of the... I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's all gone wrong. Don't know where the other cable's supposed to go. Diddly bomb, diddly bomb, a diddly bomb. A super match game. Okay. We'll figure out which ones these are. Now, unlike the Orc Stomper, I'm fairly certain that it'll tell me where all the relevant cables need to go. As I discovered last night working on the Stomper, half the cables it gives you to put on the Stomper, it doesn't actually bother telling you where to put them. It just doesn't even bother at all. That was fun. Poppy is a cat, that's it, and she can only eat 1 sausage. Aww. She's only little. I bet she'd like to eat more than 1 sausage. Steak and kidney pudding and chips. There you go, give her that as well. Gravy. Ooh. Hello, Poppy. I bet Poppy goes bonkers for everything you've got in your cases, I don't know, with your scorpions and things. Does she sit there like pawing at the cases to try and eat them? And frustrated that she can't. She's surrounded by things she can't play with or eat. in your herpetoriums or whatever you want to call them. Well, no, because they're not snakes, are they? What would you call? What are they called? That's the word I'm looking for. Not terrarium. It's the word. I can't get the word. There's a word. It's got letters in it. When chat is popped, it ends up lost under everything else. Yeah. Right, so that's that one. I know that one fits, so we'll glue that one on. I know this one is correct. Let's apply this to the model now. Yeah, touch of the glues, and we're in. So now I've got to figure out which of these two cables are the ones that I want, because I cut the wrong ones off. So that one is probably going to be that one, I suspect. That will go in. No, it won't go in there at all. That one will go there. Here we go. That one would happily go there, I think. Thinking. That one will go there, if I cut that knob off. That one I think will go there. Yeah, there we go. They are the right ones. That one is superfluous. It might serve a purpose later on. I do not know. Terrarium, that's the word. Couldn't think of the word. I was like, and there's a video game with that word as a name, and I can't remember what the oh. My brain wasn't braining very well. I've forgotten how to brain. Do. I like creatures. Creatures are cool. I want a worm farm. I think worms are awesome. Plus, they're called worms. That's a great word. Worms. Right, get some mould line removage. Why doesn't Poppy have fish? I love the fact that she eats the sausage, which is kind of adorable. But would she not much prefer a fish? Like a nice bit of haddock? Then it's like £5 for a haddock nowadays. My local chip is like a fiver, £5 from it for just a single haddock, because it's so expensive. Would she not prefer a fish? And sausage. We had a cat and it loved crisps. You would open a packet of crisps in the house. You could be anywhere in the house, doesn't matter where you were in the house. The cat could be at the other end of the garden, and you could be in the front room, the other end of the house, with all the doors and windows closed, and the moment you rustled that crisp packet, this cat would appear. He'd appear like an omen, a portent. So my brother used to draw little comics of him, and he used to have him sat at this little sort of radar, this little like monitoring station with little windows and dials and screens and stuff, and he'd like every time there was a rustle of a crisp packet, we believed that he had like a series of like hydrophones and microphones and things, listening devices set up so he could hear a crisp packet from 100 metres away. Yeah, but there wasn't a lot to do in the 1970s. We made our entertainment where we could. So, yeah. Oops. It's like, does she have her sausage and look at your fish longingly? Or is she there going, you've got a fish and I've got a massive sausage. Yay. Actually, think about it. To a cat, a chip shop big sausage would be like us having a sausage about 4 foot long. Oh, man. Oh, can you imagine? A cat eating a chip shop sausage like me eating a sausage as long as this workbench. I'd do it. I probably wouldn't feel good afterwards, but I'd do it. Decision made. Belly update. Takeaway king prawn vindaloo with garlic naan and a shish kebab for dinner later. Jesus Christ! I don't want to be anywhere near you when that has its effect. Prawn vindaloo. Oh, I can't eat anything hotter than a Rogan Josh. I can't do hot and spicy food. It doesn't work for me at all. I've always wanted flavour rather than pain, so like yeah, hot and spicy food to me is like oh. So vindaloo, no, I can't go higher than maybe a madras. Today I learned the word formicarium. Thanks, Wendy Hickson. Says kind of go. Yeah, that's a thing for ants, isn't it? Is it a formicarium? It's a thing for ants. I think I've got that right. I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Yes, she likes fish. Oh yeah, she says formicarium for ants. There you go. I knew a thing. Woohoo! She'll give her some tomorrow, some fish. Ah. Also vivariums. Vivariums are for what's a vivarium for? Not lizards, because that's a terrarium. What's a vivarium for? I can't remember now. Or is it for ants as well? Put that back in there anyway. Where are we doing? Yes. So those pipes on those guns, which I just happened to notice by pure fluke. So they are on. I love the way on the instructions it says not to glue that component there, because this gun is supposed to rotate. But what it means is don't glue that end, but do glue that end, otherwise it will just fall out. It won't stay in. I need to explain that very well. I think that's all the cables. I think. Right, so I've got to install the commander. Now I've done the chap in the turret as a commander, not as a gunner. Just because he looks more interesting as a commander. And also trying to get people to hold weapons in their hands is a pain in the bum sometimes. So I have the sniffles, I do apologise. La 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 la. So we need to add the dude and the turret cover, and that might be it actually. I think I've only got the dude to make. Really? Is that all I've got to do? That'd be cool. We'll put that over there then, and I'll put that there, and I'll put that over there. So we have, I've done the turret hatch cover, the turret hatch, well the hatch, I don't know what you want to call it. I shall put it there so it's easy, I don't know actually. I could put it up like that so it's easy to paint, because I can get underneath it. But then it comes to packing it in a box, it needs to be flat so it's not sticking out. But then I've got the difficulty of painting underneath it, you see. So what I might do, I could potentially leave it off. We'll think about that. I'll clean it up anyway. I could leave it off, mount it on a base, and then paint it separately and just glue it onto the tank afterwards with a little bit of CA, or I could just glue it on and just do what I can with it. It's not the first time I've had to. Yeah. No, I'll do it separately, because you, unlike a Bane blade where you can have it against the hull like that, where you wouldn't really see it. On this, it's kind of, there's a big gap between the. You can't even see, can you? There's a big gap there between the hatch and the hull, so you can kind of see it. So I'll paint that separately. I'll clean it up though. Ha la 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 la. I have cleaned it up mostly, but there's a bit I've missed. There it is. There we go. Do it on camera, dear. Get rid of that fluff. Lizards and snakes. Vivariums, anything insects, spiders, tarantulas, lizards and snakes. Okay, because I mean vivarium I assume is glass because it's based on vivo, which is Latin for glass. In vivo means... Oh no, I don't, actually I'm wrong. I'll just shut up now. I don't know Latin at all, let's be honest. Right. So we need to build the dude. So we have pauldron, arm, butt, handy pops, facialon, pauldron, oops, handulations, torso. A lot of bits for one dude. I think I can figure it out. Let's get them all cleaned up first. Let's do some more cleaning. It's cleaning time. So Wendy, take us through the creatures in your house. Because we know you've got the scorpions. What else have you got? And you've got Poppy. What creatures have you got in your collection of creatures? Do you have lots of different things? Do you have worms? I like worms. Worms are great. I don't know what to clean it. Oh yeah. Not many people collect worms. Vivariums can be wood, it all depends on what you want to keep. Okay. There's a reason why they're called vivariums. I'll have to... I should know Latin really, but then again I was never taught it, so hey. Got this guy's little handheld computer bob. Whatever it is, like an Auspex or a tactical display of some sort in one hand. It's got a little screen on it which I'll have fun painting because I can do my little green computer screen effect and probably find a little what I tend to do is paint the screens green to look like an old 1980s green computer CRT like you get on Pets and things like that, Commodore Pets and the old monochrome screens. And then what I'll do is I'll look for like a tiny little Gundam decal that's just like little dots to suggest lines of text, like a warning decal, and I put that on the screen. It's usually white, and then once the decal's on there, it's a green screen with a white decal. I do a little glaze of a clear green colour, a little glaze of green over the top to make the little white decal no longer white but very, very, very light green, and it looks like a proper old like monochrome green screen computer screen like you get in say Fallout 3, like kind of monochrome or old Pet, Commodore Pets and things like that. You know the kind of screen I mean. So that's what I'll be doing on that, and it sounds really complex but it's really easy. Literally 3 or 4 layers of paint and you do get this great sort of green terminal screen effect. I won't be doing a glow around it because I absolutely suck at OSL, object source lighting. I really do just suck absolute balls at it, so I don't even try because it'll just end in sadness. Sadness. Okay. Where are we? I used to keep scorpions, centipedes and tarantulas, says Muse. So much work, snakes too, even raised all of their food animals. Wow. Was that like cockroaches and mice and things? And small rodents and stuff? I like creatures, I like snakes and things. This is a fresh blade and it's struggling to get through this nub. That's kind of ridiculous. That's ridiculous. No, you're ridiculous. No, you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. I'll stop now. Any mould line on this chap, or is it fairly clean? It's fairly clean. I like that. The only gap will be around the torso. That's easily fixed. Excuse me. Nub be gone. I shouldn't do it like that really. I should brace my thumbs so I can't stab myself in the thumb. He says, struggling with the fact his thumb hurts from where he stabbed himself in the thumb yesterday. Yeah. The irony was when I stabbed myself in the thumb yesterday, I was actually moving something and went like that. I wasn't doing any work. I was moving something around, and yeah, you don't need to explain, do you? Really, you know the reason. Right. Question: how did Fox stab himself? Is actually an answer to its own question. Right. Get that bit clean. Give me stuff to talk about, folks, because I'm spent now. I've got nothing to go on about because I've not done a lot this week. So, give me subjects to talk about. Inspire me with conversations in the chat so I can enjoy witty conversation. Bring to me the subjects. That's his waist area done. I noticed with that, that Iron Man part work I'm doing yesterday, I actually noticed for the first time in one of the shipments I got the instructions to make the base that comes with it, but I'm not getting the base because I'm not on the premium package. So I don't know why they sent it to me. They sent it by accident. But it's got a full photo of the figure all assembled on the base, and I'm like, I've never noticed before, but he's got no crotch. There's like he's got his like the belly button area, then the belt line, and then there's like a little bit, and then he's just legs, and I'm like, that I've never noticed it before, but it just looks like it's weird. It's like it just finishes after the belt, and then it's just legs. I'm like, that I've never noticed that before. It's very strange, very weird. Go and have a look. Fan home. Iron Man part work. You'll see. It's just weird. If he's in a crouching position, he probably looks fun. But if he's just stood there, because on the photographs and the thing, he's just stood with his arm by his side, like the least exciting pose ever. And it's like he's got no actual crotch of any kind. It's weird. Bit of a weird design decision there. You could have just built up a bit of the armour to look like there's not just like his torso doesn't just finish and become legs, because that's not how actual people work. But hey, what can you do? I like the fact that this I don't know what armour this tank commander's got. It might be Mark 3 or 4. It's not Mark 6, but I like the fact that where you glue the pauldrons on the shoulders, you can't really see on camera, where you glue the pauldron on the shoulder, there's all this detail about the armour that goes under the pauldrons. Whether that's part of the black carapace or it's just nice little detail. And I've never seen that, but on everything after that, like 40k Space Marines, it's just a shape that the pauldron sits on top of. There's no detail there. They've not moulded anything into the armour. It's quite nice, that detail that you never see because you just glom a great big pauldron over the top of it. Mould line going away. Mould line is going away. It's going to go and live on the farm with other mould lines. Run freely in the fields. You mean it's dying? Yeah. Darren Edmonds is in, says hello everyone. Welcome Darren. Hello my friend. Welcome to the stream. Tell us about your sore shoulder, says Panzercat, and he's joking. I have a damaged shoulder. I don't know what I've done to it. It hurts. It's not as bad as it was last night. I was in agony last night when I was on with Colin. It's not as bad, but yeah, it's not healthy. I shall say no more about it. But every time I go over there to grab the instructions, I'll go, because I have to move my arm in that direction that hurts. So Welcome, Darren. Wendy says, death-feigning beetles, white-spotted assassin bugs, 3 types of scorpions, tarantulas, millipedes, and isopods. I think that's all. I need to see like hundreds of photographs of all of these in the boom hut, Wendy, because they all sound awesome. Death-feigning beetles, I love tarantulas. I do love them. I've handled them. Tarantulas, awesome. I like beetles. It's weird. It's kind of funny how things like... if I go into, say, the bathroom or something, or I go into a room and there's a spider on the wall, like a house spider, big, dirty, great big wolf spider. I'm not afraid of them, but I'll be like, oh God, I've got... if I'm in the bedroom and there's a spider on the wall, I need to get rid of it before I go to sleep. I don't want it to be there. I don't like the fact it's there and I'm asleep and it could, you know, whatever it does. I don't know why, but I won't kill them. I'll throw them out. But I'll get that kind of unease and discomfort when they're there, and I'll have to deal with them and throw them out. I can't just leave them. Unless it's a tiny little thing. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But like, you know, dirty, great big house spiders. But if I see a beetle on the carpet, I'm like, ah, little beetles on the carpet. Let me pick it up and throw it. And I'll pick it up in my hand and throw it out, put it outside and stuff. And it's like, I don't know why I have one reaction to one thing, and then, like for beetles, I'm like, oh, look, a little black beetle, look at it. Ooh. I'm getting quite excited when you see a beetle. It's not very rare you see a beetle in the house, but you do occasionally. Mama Fox went to the toilet the other day and she opened the toilet door and there's a beetle on the carpet. She went, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's a beetle, because she couldn't quite see it. She said, what's that on the carpet moving? It's a beetle. Cool, I'll throw it out. Yes, it's weird that. Different reactions, but it's like... I know beetles move slow. I think it's probably just because they move slowly, and I like beetles. Never seen a stag beetle. Imagine if you kind of walked into the kitchen and saw a massive stag beetle on the floor. I'd be like, wow! We used to get vine weevils that came in all the time, because we used to have ivy on the back of the house, which drove me nuts. Hated the stuff. I have a lifelong hatred of ivy. And occasionally, you know, you get a vine weevil that will just like pootle in through the window, or however, into the house from the ivy. And if you've never seen a vine weevil, it's like a little round beetle with a long tube nose, and they're quite endearing, but they move really, really slowly. They're really, really slow, and they're really dumb. They cannot do fast at all. So it'd be like, I'd find one, I'd be like, I'll just pick it up and throw it out. But I'd always try and rescue them because I like vine weevils. They're kind of endearing. But I had a Venus flytrap once, and there was a dearth of flies. I couldn't get a fly for it. I'm like, I need to feed it something. And this vine weevil appeared on the windowsill. I'm like, oh, you know what? That'll do. I'm sorry, my friend. I do like you. I don't dislike you, but I need to feed my Venus flytrap. So I picked up this vine weevil and popped it into the Venus flytrap, and the trap closed like that. And then I felt really guilty, but I thought it's the circle of life, it needs to eat something. And then as I watched, the vine weevil just basically punched its way out. It was like, no, having that, and just punched its way back out and just escaped. I'm like, wow, hardcore badass. So from that point, they got my respect at that point. They just punched their way out of a Venus flytrap. I'm like, yep, that'll do. Won't bother feeding one of you guys to that again. It was quite impressive, really. It was only in there for a few minutes. It was like, I'm sorry, what? Punch. Sorry, mate, I've got stuff to do. Bye. Thanks for the free hug. Bye. It was the most impressive. And I like isopods. Isopods are cool. What are also known as wood lice, are isopods, that kind of creature. I like deep sea isopods, they're brilliant. Isopods are cool. I didn't know because I was amazed to learn, because obviously in the UK here, I grew up, you know, I know what wood lice are, what wood louse is. And you see them at all, you know, damp wood and in the house sometimes and stuff like that. Excuse me. But I didn't know there were all different colours and types, and some very pretty ones and some massive ones. It's like, wow. I didn't know people kept them as pets. It's kind of cool. Isopods. Hello, isopods. charming little fellows. I need to deal with my sniffly nose. 1 second. Oh. Hey. Tell us all about your... Oh, we've done that one. Question, what's the best bang for the buck Warhammer model, says Jeff. Best bang for the buck. As in, for what you're paying for it, you get the most out of it. I would say probably the Astra Militarum Valkyrie, which is the big flyer that's got the 2 guys in the back with the mounted guns a la Vietnam era helicopters. The Astra Militarum Valkyrie, which is about 40 quid, 45 quid, which is a big model. Or there's a vehicle, I can't think what it is. Something like the Orc truck, which is about 25, 30 quid. That's quite big. And you can have a lot of fun with that, customising it. It's only 25, 30 quid. Or just for pure stuff you can paint. I've shown it before. I'll show it again. See if it doesn't fall off the stand. Is the land speeder. Is the very dusty. Good God, that is a hell of a dust. Is the very dusty Land Speeder Storm. Which is only about last time when I got this, it was about £19. So that's £20. And it's a little vehicle, but it's got like 6 dudes on it. It's got 6 dudes to paint. So you're getting 6 dudes and a vehicle, which is awesome. This was the second Warhammer I ever made. I've never painted the dudes before. So that was like 19 quid. So the absolute best value, I'd say, is one of them. Because it's like 20 quid, $25. And you've got 6 dudes and a vehicle to paint. Just for the amount of mileage you'll get, like the amount of things you can paint. Because, you know, you buy a 5-man squad of... You'll pay £20 for a 5-man squad of Space Marines. So to pay £20 for some Space Marines and a vehicle, there you go. Because you can spend days just painting the figures. But if you want big bang for your buck, then I'd say the Valkyrie is probably a good one. If anybody else watching in chat has got any ideas, because the Valkyrie is a big flyer about that big and it's like 40 quid. The Orc truck, again, just because it's got some size to it. The Battle Wagon, I think it's about 80 quid, so maybe not that one. I think the Orc truck's about £40. I don't really know. I mean, they're all in their own ways kind of value for money, but some of them really weird. But with the weird GW pricing means that occasionally you get something really good for a lot less than you think you'd pay for it, or you think it would be worth. Death feigning beetles are a light blue colour. Such fun little things, says Wendy. Ooh, we need lots of videos of your creatures. That's what we need. What's the best value bang for the buck Warhammer model? And Mew says the one gifted to you. Yes. We're saying hi to Darren. Breeding and raising tarantulas was fun. Tarantulias. I think there is a plastic model of a stag beetle. There is. It's a big, massive one that a lot of people have put like clockwork things into to make it look all steampunk. There's also a Warhammer of Alariel the Everqueen, which looks like a naked lady on the back of an enormous stag beetle. It's not quite a stag beetle, but it looks like one. Tarantulas have a few hundred offspring at a time, says Muse. Yes. You almost never find dead spiders inside, just the things they kill. Maybe they eat each other, says Joseph Kelly. Ooh. We had box after box of small bottles with one tarantula in each. Feeding took half a day just for them. Ah. Most spiders are okay, says Darren, but my fiancé got bitten by a false widow a couple of years ago and spent 2 or 3 days in hospital. I would stay away from those. I don't know what they look. I know what I kind of roughly know. I don't think I've ever seen one. We get like the normal wolf spiders now, the house spiders that you set, the ones that run around. We get them, and we get these other ones that are like a bit fatter and a bit blacker and a bit shinier. But I don't know if they're false widows. But I just throw them out. They're like they're kind of like shorter, stubbier house spiders, but they're not furry like house spiders. If house spiders were slow moving, I wouldn't mind them. It's the way I don't know. No. Poppy tends to dispatch... excuse me. Poppy tends to dispatch spiders that come into the outside from the outside. Poppy has been taught to leave my other animals alone, so shows little interest. Not that she has access to them. Safe for both of us. Aww. Any of the start collecting bottles... start again. Any of the start collecting boxes, it says Skill Model Muse. Yeah, Marcy said, yeah, Marcy, you're absolutely spot on. I forgot that. For real good value... Let me clear my throat, one sec. For real good value, and I forgot about those. If you can... There's what... Well... There were for a long time what were called start collecting. It'd be a start collecting orcs or start collecting Tau, and it'd be basically a small force, a small army of dudes, and maybe a vehicle or two. And they were always vastly underpriced. So a start collecting box would be, say, £50, but you might be getting £70 to £100 worth of stuff in there. It's just massively reduced because it's designed to get you into the hobby and then get you playing and buying. Now, they've been phased out, and now they're called battle forces, I think. Which are about £80, £85. If you can find a start collecting box, because people still have them in stock on the internet, if you can find a start collecting box like 45, 50 quid, you're getting a good bit of bargain there. But the battle forces are still bargains. They're still underpriced for what they are. You're still getting maybe 120 quid worth of stuff for 80, 85 quid, something like that. Your mileage may vary. But yeah, if you go on eBay or any retailer and just look up start collecting, because some of them will still have some in stock. I saw that I think Goblin had a couple of start collecting Orcs box sets, even though they've not been around they've been stocked for about a year now. Although there might be some left, I'm not sure. Have a look on the Games Workshop website, there might be some left, but start collecting sets, they're dirt cheap for what they are. Like, I got start collecting Tempestus Scions, and you get a squad of 10 dudes, a squad of 9 dudes and a guy to run them, and a Taurox Prime vehicle, and I think something else. And that Taurox Prime vehicle is 45 quid by itself, and the start collecting box was 50 quid. So yeah, that was pretty good, pretty darn good. Agree, says Wendy. Start collecting boxes, yeah. Wendy, what we need though is start collecting Deathcore Cree, or start collecting Veteran Guardsmen. I really hope that GW does some more plastic Deathcore type stuff, and not just specifically for Kill Team. I mean, you could theoretically build an entire Deathcore army just using that box set and the Astra Militarum plastic kits, but it'd be nice to get some Krieg specific stuff in plastic, so people don't have to go and buy all the tanks from Forge World. Spiders. Spider times. Yes. It's just weird though, isn't it? How, like, one thing you look at it with horror, and the other thing you look at it as go, like a beetle. A little beetle. Isn't it adorable? Vine weevils, bless it. Let's just shuffle it outside really carefully. Yeah, if I put a spider in a Venus flytrap, I wouldn't be hoping it would escape. I wouldn't be like egging it on to escape. I'd be like, that's it. For you, Tommy Zavort is over. Muse picked up a Demons of Slanesh box the other day. Was that a start collecting, or was that a Battle Force? Battle Force. Sounds like kind of Lego Nook stuff, doesn't it? New Lego Battle Force. Made in Scotland from girders. Or something, I don't know. Right, let's assemble this dude. The old bit where the torso doesn't have any connection points whatsoever. Harsh. Bit harsh. 1 or 2 little pins would have been kind of handy, but never mind. There's literally no connecting pins at all on this dude, it's just 2 halves. I think this may be an old thing there, because this kit, although it's a new kit, it does include a sprue from the land. It does include a Land Raider sprue. Whether that's an old sprue, I don't know. It does include some accessories that are sort of generic or to other kits. So, would explain why the commander / gunner is not wearing Mark 6 armour. Let's have a look on the sprue. What does the sprue say? The sprue says... Computer says no. The sprue says... Tank accessories. There you go. So it's a generic 30k tank accessories. It's, what year is on it? 2021. So it's from last year. Okay. And the other sprue is... I think it says... That one just says Land Raider. So that's from 2021 as well. Weird. I thought it'd be really old for there to be no connection points, but never mind. We'll move on. Do. How is that supposed to attach with his... Sadly, all he can do is look forward. Which is a bit pants. Or maybe I can have him looking sideways a bit. As long as I can fit him in the... Oh, then again, he might... Oh, what's the point? How does he fit in the... Where? What? What does he attach to? Wait. How does... Oh, I see. There we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, can rotate. Okay, I can rotate him around. Excellent. Activate rotations. Let's get his arms on first. Let's get the arms on. And things are falling off the desk. Hang on. Oh. Falling. Yeah. Ooh, bonus gift in my Warhammer bag, says Muse. Have you bought things? Oh. Josh gave me a coin. Who's Josh? Is that your manager? Your local supplier? The steeds are cool. Start collecting. Says Muse. Don't forget, of course. Who was it that asked? Was it Jeff? Yeah. Don't forget, Jeff. It's not just Warhammer 40k as well. Don't forget, there's also, if you're not interested in playing the game at all, there's also the Age of Sigmar stuff. You also get some good... I'm not that familiar with it, but you get some good bargains and stuff in there as well. So don't discount the Age of Sigmar stuff. That can be good as well. Probably. That's more fantasy angled. You can get some cool stuff in Age of Sigmar. You get some really cool, like, large demons and stuff, but they're not cheap, so... They're not cheap toms. I need some proper glue on there, don't I? Small glue is not going to cut it. Fat glue is what's required here. Gentlemen, prepare your fat glue, your glue of fatness. There we go. That's more sticularity. Oh, there's a big nub on the back, that's why. You dingleberry, hang on. Dingus. Dingus! There, now it fits perfectly, yes, spoon. Don't, you know, you know what I'm like. I went to the adequate school of cutting nubs off. If nubs are worth cutting off, they're worth cutting off adequately. I can't even say it. The joke's died now, folks. Just give up. I'm sorry. I'll just give up now. I'll just shut up. It's for the best. Bye. Right, so there we go. So he's going to sit slightly angled. I don't like dudes that just sit in the turret and they're just facing forward. It's like, have them facing around a little bit, like they're doing something. Just have them sitting there pointing forward. Josh runs the Warhammer store. Cool. Oh, yes, I got... what did I get? I went into mine, and because I spent chunks of money, I got a couple of these. A week ago. A couple of those. Metal coins. Quite nice. I think it's if you spend over a certain amount. Or if your Warhammer store manager likes you, of course. You get freebies sometimes. It's my local Warhammer store's birthday in a week, I think. I'm hoping to be able to go, but it depends on Mama Fox. I don't know if I can leave her all day by herself, so it's not guaranteed at the moment. Now I've got to assemble this thing, and it's a bit tricky. That's not even the right arm. What's going on there? What? Oh, that is the right arm. It's the left arm. That one needs to go there. I shall glue on his hand of happiness. Steady, Neris. Not that kind of hand of happiness. Behave. Oops, I'll have to hold that for a minute. I'll look into Age of Sigmar. I have a few Games Workshop minis, but I've not yet bought a model. Age of Sigmar is more fancy stuff. There's not like loads of there's not really vehicles or anything, but the beauty of Age of Sigmar is it's because it is more fantasy angled. You get some incredibly beautiful sculpts of like some of the demons and stuff, like Archaon the Everchosen and Kairos Fate Weaver. I bought a couple of them when I went to the Warhammer store. They're not cheap, they're like 80 quid, but they're beautiful. They've got these big spread out wings, and I can't wait to get them done. But yeah, have a look. Some of them might tickle your fancy. There's a lot less vehicles and stuff though. It's obviously 40k is the sci-fi pew pew, and Sigmar is the more fantasy swore. It's still kind of, it's not like fantasy like D&D. They also do Lord of the Rings, don't forget, as well. Although you won't see that in the shops. They do obviously do Lord of the Rings. Because they have the franchise, they have the exclusive tabletop franchise for that. And of course, I can't not mention this box set. It's 180 quid, but it's about 300 quid worth of stuff, 250, 300 quid worth of stuff. So, yeah, but there's a lot of stuff. If you're not playing the game, you probably wouldn't want to get this box set. Wouldn't really serve any purpose. I always forget they do Lord of the Rings. I have no interest in it, you see, because it's fantasy nonsense. It's immature nonsense. Childish silliness. Si Reynolds will be on in a minute, telling me off. Yeah, but they don't sell that in store. It's online exclusive or from the Warhammer store. I don't think they sell it in store anyway, Lord of the Rings. Foxy gets it. Wait, what? Hang on. What do I get? I instantly forget anything I talk about, so you can't assume me to remember whatever we were talking about. I like the fact he's pointing at buttons on the data pad thing. That's quite cool. So many great models I haven't played since just after high school. Just build and paint what I like. Foxy gets. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I'm the same. I've still never played a game yet. Apart from one little quick silly game of Dakar Rally at my local store's birthday a few years ago. And that wasn't even an official game, that was just made up rules. It was just silly fun. The Space Wolves Stormfang assault ship, that's quite a good value for money. It's about 40 quid, 45 quid, and it's basically a big box with wings on it, but it's a nice model to build. And I have to say, to my eternal shame, I did build the entire thing and paint it before I realised that it actually looked like a wolf head. The whole ship is designed to look like a big boxy wolf head. And I was like, oh, it's... how did I... Oh. I was kind of embarrassed. I spent 40 or 50 hours building it, looking at it, and I hadn't actually realised it's shaped to be like a dog head, a wolf head. I'm like, oh, I'm such a spoon. I'm so special. Me, normally with my awesome powers of observation, totally didn't observe any of it. Because I was just sat there and I'm like, why is it... I was kind of coming to the end of the painting, I'm like, why is this such a stupid, dumbass, boxy shape? Why is this actually shaped the way it is? And I was just looking at it in the light and I went, hang on a minute. Oh, it's... Oh, really? Really? Yeah. Games Workshop kind of take the mickey out of themselves sometime. So giving Space Wolves a dropship that looks like a wolf. Yeah, pretty much. That's about right. Right, so that's the driver almost done. Or commander even. Commander. I shall apply his head of heading. Wendy Hickson says, horses with gas masks are the best. Yes, Death Riders. Deathcore Creek Death Riders. Oh, I really hope they bring them out in plastic. I've always wanted to make one. But I absolutely dread making one in plastic. I'm in resin. I have no desire to ever do that. There we go. So we'll actually have the guy looking at the data pad. I shall zoom in so you can see the fellow what I have made. Where are my zoomulatory controls? Hang on. Is it going to zoom or not zoom? Oh, come on, camera. Sometimes it does no zoom at all. It's really annoying. Just fudge muppet. So there you go. We built the dude. I'll bring him up and I'll focus him for you. So we've got the dude there. He's commanding his tank and he's looking at his data pad. He's ordering something from Amazon. He's typing in fleshlight or something. I don't know. He's just typing something. But that screen, I'm going to make that a green screen with a little sort of text decal. I'll get all green tones. So there you go. I shall put that back down and put the focus back down here. Let me find a chap that I can focus on. Sometimes the camera zooms in massively and sometimes it just decides it can't be bothered. It's kind of frustrating. There we go. Right, so that's him. Oh no, food update. Our drivers are busier than usual. Stay tuned for updates, says Wendy Hickson. No. The larger pieces are nice to do. Even the simple snap together ones are nice, says Muse. Yeah. Foxy gets it. And also finally got my Baneblade. Yes! What are you going to do with your Baneblade, Marcy? Are you going to do anything custom to it, or are you just going to build it out of the box, or what? Are you going to build an Octoblade where you can do all the different variants and magnetise it all? Or are you just going to build one of the variants? Sniffle, sniffle. And what colour scheme? Did you get the extra sprue, asks Wendy to Muse, and Muse says nope. He's ordering 40k minis. I need reinforcements. Quick, go on to gamesworkshop.com. Order more. You know the best thing about Death Kura Krieg Death Rider horses? Not. Yes, they are wearing gas masks, so you're making models of horses with gas masks. But the best thing about them is that I forgot to put this piece on. The best thing about them is that they've actually got buttholes. This is really weird. It's very rare that GW actually sculpts in anatomically correct details like a butthole or a widge. But on the Death Riders, on the Death Kura Krieg horses, because they've got no hair, they're all hairless. So yeah, they've got a little bony tail that's been cropped, and they've got a butthole. It's like, oh, not right. But then again, the Squigoth, the giant Squigoth, the gargantuan Squigoth, has a widge. So I've got to paint that, and it's not a subtle widge. It's a widge with, yeah, it's anatomically correct. Let's just leave it at that. It's got an anatomically correct widge on it. I'm like, hasn't got any baubles like, but it's got the meat, but not the two veg. And it's not a small thing. The Squigoth, I mean. Steady. Behave. Where's my scrapey tool? Yeah. Not sure what I'm doing to it. I have 2 3D printers so I can make my own stuff. There you go. Good girl. So basically, an insane blade. You need a crow's nest, you need a rope bridge, you need a waterfall. Then that's only if you're making orkiness, if you're doing it as an orc. Right, let's get this little bit glued on. The worst backpack ever. Because it's tiny and almost stunted. This poor lad doesn't even get a backpack, he just gets a thing that plugs him into the tank. It's a bit pants, isn't it? He's hooked into the tank. It's like, it's rubbish. It's like being in a car but attached into the driver's seat. You'd be like, arse. So that is yon fellow my lad there. Now I don't think I'm going to put him in the tank. I'm going to... he just sits in the hatch there. But what I'm going to do, I like the fact he's looking at his data pad, not looking at whatever he's shooting. He's doing a bit. He's tweeting. He's there saying, oh, that Lawrence Fox, I need to really block him. So I think what I'll do is I'll mount him to a base and paint him separately. So I need to cut this bit off. Sorry for that big bang. I'll cut that bit off there. So I've got that to mount to a base. I've got the hatch cover to mount to a base. What else have I got? I've got more of these little symbols that I need to put on. But I don't want to put too much iconography on it because I've got obviously lots of Space Wolves decals to put on this as well. And I don't want to cover this in the generic Imperial stuff and then leave myself short of space for space puppies. So what's this one? This is like a scroll work, and the problem with scroll work is you've got to really put wording on it, and I really suck at doing that. Because writing wording on scroll work is never a good idea, because it's tiny. Although, one advantage will be if it's Space Wolves, I can do scroll work that's actually in the Fenrisian language, which is mostly like Nordic stuff, which is a little bit easier to paint. And if it goes wrong, I can just leave it blank. Yeah, we'll put that on. Go on then. Go on then. When I did my Stormwolf, which is currently in the display cabinet at my local Warhammer store, on the scroll work on the front, I actually used the Fenrisian runes to write out the word space puppies. No, I think I just put puppies. It just says puppies in runic. Because they're space puppies. And I guess nobody's ever translated that. But the problem with doing this is I'm trying to sell it I'm trying to do a really good paint job so I can get a nice profit for it when I sell it. But if you do a nice paint job and then really crap lettering on a scroll, it really kills it. It's a bit like doing a super realistic body and then painting like the worst eyes ever painted on a figure. It just kills it. So we shall have to wait and see. I may have to leave it blank, or if possible, if necessary, I can try and find some tiny runes. I've got some on my decal sheet, but I don't know how small they are. Don't think they're that small. Hardy baby, hardy baby, hippie man, hippity. I don't think I'm going to get any of the Space Wolves icons onto the tank today because they're all Forge World in resin, and it takes you ages to cut them out and clean them up. So I'll probably have to do that afterwards. Later on this evening. I should have this finished and ready for painting by next week. So at some point next week, I'll get all these outside if we have some good weather and get them primed. And I might see if I can do a little bit of filming. Maybe, I don't know yet. Because it would be handy to do a little bit of like a little 10, 15, 20 minute video on how I'm painting Space Wolves. I won't be showing everything, but it might be like, I might show painting the vehicle and say I'm using exactly the same techniques on the Space Marines. Or something, I don't know. Depends, all about time. Filming a build does increase the length of time it takes to actually get the job done. It doubles or sometimes quadruples it, so I've got to be careful. I need to get this up and selling because my Macarius Vanquisher hasn't sold yet and I'm struggling a bit, so we need to get some more stuff up on eBay soon as. Papa's got bills to pay. Right, there we go, that'll do. That will do. Where is it? There it is. La 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 la. I shall put it here, see? There's lovely. I've got two nice big rivets I can line it up with. Nice big rivets! And then I can knock it so it falls, so that'd be great. It's always handy having dirty great big rivets to line things up against. I'll put a tiny touch of glue and then I'll be able to manoeuvre it a little bit. So I'll just do tiny touch there. Just enough to give it a little bit of stick so it doesn't move. But then I can adjust it ever so slightly. I think that's actually spot on. A little bit to the right. I know you can't see this, I do apologise. Just the tiniest touch of glue just means it stays in place, but I've got a little bit of room to manoeuvre it. I think that's about as good as it gets. A little bit. I'll put glue on the top because then it'll run down. If I put it on the bottom, it'll just dribble down. Tiny touch of glue on there. It'll suck underneath. And there we go. Right. That's that bit. Annie McLeish says, doing his UBV 76 because Edward Leonard's come in. That's official. Edward Leonard, Squishy King. King of the squishy movement. She says, Muse says she's got too many other projects going on, so it's going to be a while. Hello, everyone, and hello, Fox, and everyone in chat. Says Edward. Hello, Edward. Big hugs to you, my friend. Right, so there we go. Got that bit of scroll work on there that I'll no doubt regret when it comes to painting it. I'll be like, oh, why did I do that? I've got a couple more of these lightning Aquillas, but dirty great thumbprint there. But I don't want to use these because these would quite nicely go on these doors here, like that. But I've got Space Wolves icons, decals to go on there. So I've got one on the front. I don't really want to put them anywhere else. There's nowhere else they can really go. So I don't need those. And that's it. Right, so what I'm going to do, I need to go for a great big wee. So give me a minute. I'll go for a great big wee. I'll get myself a couple of 32mm bases and I'll mount those 2 bits on the bases. So I shall be back in one moment. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. And we're back. There we go. Right. Big wee acquired and done. Bases acquired, even. Right, someone quick rearrange your desk and hide the glue and hide the changes. Or swap all the keys around on my keyboard so I can't type properly. I used to work with a girl many years ago who was, bless her, not the brightest pencil in the box. Not the brightest tool in the tree. And we used to go to a keyboard and we'd just swap 2 letters around, like S and E or T and M. Every now and then, and it'd take her ages. She wouldn't know why. She'd be like, why is it typing? It's doing it wrong. She couldn't figure it. It's just 2 letters interposed, but she couldn't figure it out what was going on. She'd like, why are these words all weird? And she never figured it out. She'd log it to IT, and then when she went away from the desk, we'd put the keys back. You could pop the keycaps off in those days. So we were cruel, but we found it hilarious. Edward says hello to Jeff and to Andy. Where are we? Muse says, now I need to find my basing box. Grasses are in it. Add your grasses. Tufts always make things better. Windy Hickson says, Mobius models 1/10 for Rosetta's Death Dealer, half plastic and half filler. Figure and horse, really sad, no gas mask. You have to make a gas mask. Fox has his Spartan block on the bench, steady and Eris. Someone quick, oh, we've done that one. Kidnap the puffin. Just don't even think. He'd bite you. Blame the seal and have the cat on the lampshade. Sorry, Panzer, not you. You're too big. You mean she wasn't the greenest leaf on the tree, as bright as 2-watt light bulb? Oh, yeah. I remember I did myself a T-shirt once, because I'm making my own T-shirts when I had merch and stuff, and I was doing merch years ago, and I made myself a T-shirt that just said 40-watt club. I thought, that'll do for me, that. 40-watt club. Right, yeah, that was the club I'd be in. Lol, so wrong, says Muse. Yeah, but it was fun, and the boss was in on it as well, and she eventually saw the funny side when we explained it. But she was like so not particularly clever that she couldn't even figure out, like, if I was typing and like 2 letters were swapped around, I'd kind of figure it out. I'd be like, oh, hang on, my T key is doing E. She didn't even figure that out. She couldn't even get that far. Right, so got to do the commander, and we've got to do the hat. And if there's anything else, do I need anything else to mount to a base? I don't think so. I don't think I need to mount anything else. So I shall get my super glue, which is all the way over there, and I've used my sore arm to reach it. Ow. I'm falling apart. The moment the clock ticked onto my birthday and I hit 50, I just developed all the old people problems. Like within milliseconds, it went tick, collapse. All of them, all the old people issues just appeared like out of nowhere, like flies on poop. I'm like, God damn it! You could have given me a slow lead in. You could have faded me in a bit, but no. Right, there we go. Bit of that. Got to get the glue down the bottle now, so excuse me while I bang. The camera's going to wobble, bear with me. Just a way of knocking the glue back down the spout. Clean out my nozzle. So I've got a drill bit attached to the side of the bottle because it's a good way. Always keep your nozzle clean and clear. Gentlemen, always make sure your nozzle is free and clear at all times. And don't actually glue the drill bit into the... Oh God, it's all gone wrong. Although unlike Colin, I'm not gluing myself to my model. There we go, that's better. And apologies for the banging noises every time I put something on the bench. You know why. I nearly stuck myself to the drill bit, nearly. But not quite. Scrape that glue off. You can just burn the glue off as well. That's why I always have this on the side of the bottle, because nothing ends the life of your bottle of CA glue like it just getting bunged up. That's why I've cut the nozzle all the way down to the fat bit at the bottom, because then it's easier to deal with. Right, so I want to glue this to the base. I have to glue it carefully, but little bits where the glue is, I can touch them up later, so that's not a problem. And this is just so I can paint it on a little base in a painting handle, and I can get to I can knock it off. I can get to both sides, because when it's attached to the model, of course, you'll be able to see a lot of the underside, more than say on a Lehman Russ or something. So to make sure I can see both sides. Now this guy I've got to only do a little bit because he's got a big flat bum. And you would go like that once. So just a couple of little touches. That's not enough. I don't want to put a lot on, because if I put a lot on, it's going to take forever to get him off the damn thing again. It's just enough to get him on the base, so that when he's painted I can get a blade under there and ping him off. There you go, perfect. Or if necessary, I can, if you glue anything on, because this is the trick with these. I always thought it was a bad idea, but if you use a tiny bit of CA glue, stick him on a base, I can put him in a painting handle, or whatever you use to paint your minis. Put him in a painting handle, paint, done. When he's finished, I can just pop him off with a sharp end of a blade, or if you've really glued them on really much, you've put too much glue on, you can put them in the freezer and then when they're frozen for a while, just snap them off, because the glue breaks and shatters when it's frozen. Or if you need to, you can shatter CA glue. It's not a permanent fix, so that just makes this door more paintable now. I'll only do a little bit of painting on that, but it just means now I can get that bit painted, and when it's on the tank like that, you can look underneath and you'll see it's not just a half-assed paint job, because I can't get to it. But I think that's all I needed to attach. There we go. Right, so STFU Foxy. What did I say now? Lol, so wrong. What did I say now? I don't know what I've said now. Super glue disaster averted. I like to avert things. Right, so that's, I think, the Spartan tank finish. I've done the missile launcher, the smoke generator, I've done the dude, the hatch. I've got the little markings on there. I hasten to say I would have done the thing with swapping. If you're talking about the key swapping on the keyboard, Muse, I would have done the same thing if it was a bloke. I've done that to many people. We were all a bit practical jokers in one of my jobs. All the practical jokes in the world. I think that's the tank done. Which means then all I have left to do now is to attach to all the Space Marines all the little attachments like the pouches and icons and stuff. I've got a small number of Space Wolves bits to put on them. So that's all I need to do. So what I'll probably call it a show there, because it's going to be a good couple of hours work, and I might as well do that later. So yeah, we'll do that. I'll do that off camera, because then what I can do is get that done off camera. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing Warhammer Sunday with Colin, so that'll be working on Lehman Russes. And then on Monday, if the weather's good, I can take all this outside and get it all primed and ready for painting. We used to do the key swap in school, says Muse. Yeah, I never grew up. Right, so I think what we'll do is we'll call it a show there. There's nothing more I can really crack on with that doesn't require lots of time, so I'll leave it there. I'll go and make me dinner, actually. So I shall say thank you very much for watching. Let me just turn something on. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget, if you want to help support this channel, you can join all the cool kids who do the Patreon and channel memberships. You can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru, and that you can become a patron and support the channel there, or you can just press the join button underneath any one of my videos or content of any kind, and it'll allow you to make a little donation and become a channel member as well and support it that way. But other than that, if you want to, just make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on live stuff. And make sure if you're not able to support me, wow, hang on, water. If you're not able to support me financially, don't panic. I still love you. You're more than welcome to do the free thing, which is just to make sure when you watch my stuff, make sure to watch the video at the start, the advert at the start all the way through. That really helps me out as well. It's an extra way of helping me out that doesn't cost you a penny. And don't forget, of course, all the links to my Amazon stores and everything else in the description below the video. But until next time, Wendy Hickson's off, says food arrived, everyone. Bye, everyone. Take care. Enjoy, Wendy. Enjoy your noms, and I shall see you tomorrow. Yes, I shall see you all tomorrow, so take care. I'll see you. Don't forget, Colin's on at 12:30 with Dave for the Sunday brunch, and then I'll be joining him at 5, hopefully, for the Warhammer Sunday, when we'll carry on with our Lehman Russ projects or buddy build. So until then, I shall say, take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. That nearly fell over. Go be awesome. And until next time, I shall say, adios, amoebas. Bye.